Hi, my name is Riley Flaherty, and I am the CEO and founder of Midwest Global Staffing, along with my wife, Morgan. I've owned an IT company for about 10 years, and much like a lot of small business owners, in the past few years, we've experienced major labor issues. We've been unable to get talent that we need to run our businesses effectively. This led us down the path of trying to find talent wherever in the world we could find it, once remote work became a feasible option for our business. We went out there and we looked everywhere. We looked in Latin America. We looked in the Philippines. We looked on online recruiting websites. We used Upwork. We talked to people who had done this before. We talked to a bunch of agencies and BPO companies. And after we went through this process, we found out that the state of customer service, quality, and attention to detail in the global recruiting industry was not up to par. This was an opinion shared by many different people that I talked to that went through this and tried to hire globally, as well as the people who had tried to apply for jobs from different countries. The industry is filled with massive distrust, a lot of questionable business tactics, and this actually led a lot of people that we talked to into believing that you could not acquire decent talent in some of these countries, or that you really could only rely on the 20-mile radius around your office to recruit employees because you just couldn't trust any of the other solutions that were out there. So we went through this process ourselves and came out of it realizing that the industry needed a massive improvement. Eventually, after seeing that we really couldn't find anyone else to partner with that had the level of competency we were looking for, we decided to embark on this ourselves and help out other small businesses with finding talent, the best talent in the world, regardless of where they're located. So we set out to solve a handful of problems. Our number one focus is retention. The goal of hiring people is to delegate and offload tasks that you do not want to do yourself as a founder, or that you don't have time to do, or that are holding you up from growing your business. You can't do that if you're embroiled in endless hiring and rehiring of employees. So there's a few different things that we found causing this. One is scammy business tactics, frankly, driving retention down because there's a lack of trust, and wages were driven down below a living wage in some cases, causing people to leave as soon as possible. As soon as they could find another opportunity that paid them better, they were out the door, no matter how much they liked the client. Another thing we found is a lot of places wanted to feed you one applicant at a time. So you'd go out to a VA agency and you'd say, I need a virtual assistant. And they would say, here's a virtual assistant. They didn't ask about the specific job description that you needed, if they needed any particular software skills, if they needed to know accounting, if they needed to know marketing, if they needed to know WordPress, if they needed to know AI, if they needed to have a good background in project management. None of these questions were asked. So what happens is they would deliver you one virtual assistant at a time. That person would inevitably not work out because they were not matched up to the specific needs of your business. And then you just keep going through this process over and over again, replacing them, getting a new person, going through the same thing again in a month or two. And again, this wastes your very valuable time and defeats the entire purpose of hiring additional staff. The other thing that we wanted to do was really build trust and a sense of community. So we found that a lot of the BPO companies out there were not very transparent about the margins that they had, how much markup they were placing on top of people's wages, how the recruitment process worked. And this led to massive distrust, not just from the client side, but from the worker side. And again, this drives down retention, drives up the amount of time you have to spend intervening in this process as a founder. And that, again, defeats the purpose of hiring. The third thing we found was very inefficient communication and recruiting processes. We found that a lot of BPO companies basically rely on the cheapest labor they can find to be part of their recruiting process and to be part of their applicant pool. The problem with this is while there are cost-effective resources across the world, it's a balance. You can't go for the cheapest option every time. And in the age of AI in 2025, there are very efficient methods that you can use to reach out and find people anywhere in the world. So we've developed our own custom AI solutions for recruitment, coupled with trained recruiters that maintain a personal relationship with all of our applicants and our clients. We also try and provide educational resources to educate your remote workers in AI and the latest technology. Because in 2025, if you're not learning AI and you're not learning the latest technology, you are going to be replaced, and your business may eventually be replaced in the marketplace if you refuse to innovate. So one of the great ways to get started in AI is to hire someone who already knows the basics. And that's one of the things that we want to provide to you. People who are at the top of their game for the particular job that they are doing for your business. We're also beginning to couple this with new AI agent solutions so that you can get a worker from the Philippines, Latin America, South Africa, and a number of other markets that we're entering. Use them to revolutionize your business operations, couple them with leading edge AI technology, and burn through the minutia that holds back your staff from growing, tackling your business operations, keeping your clients happy, and ultimately being the best in your industry. So if you want to get started with us, basically the process goes as follows. You give us your job description. We read that over. We may have questions for you. What is a nice to have? What is a must have? What is icing on the cake? What other tasks could we possibly combine with this to make this a very effective role for your business? What sort of personality type are you looking for? What sort of cultural fit is this person going to have in your business? Once we have that locked down, we have a roster of people that we're always interviewing, and we'll go out and interview and find more people if we have to for your job position. By the time that we schedule a 4-hour block with you, by the time that 4-hour block rolls around, we'll have 5 to 10 candidates that we have already talked to, interviewed, vetted, and negotiated their rates. And you will get to sit down in a single 4-hour block and interview all of the candidates for your job in one day. There's no 3-interview process. There's no interviewing one person on Monday, one person on Wednesday, one person next week, Thursday. And by the time you're done with all of your interviews, the first person that you really wanted isn't available anymore because they have a job. We like to avoid that entire process, get the interviews done in one day, and hire within a week after that. Once you decide who you want, you let us know. We set an onboarding date. We get you guys in the same virtual meeting. You guys can hand off whatever technology you need to run your business. If you need assistance with that, we'll certainly help you. If you need assistance acquiring a computer in the country, we can help you with that as well. And then from then on, they are functionally just like any other employee in your business. We handle the payments. You handle managing that person, giving them their work. They become an integral part of your team. They come to your company meetings. They attend your training sessions. They are part of your business operations. They're just like any other person that works for your business. They just are located in a different country, or maybe in the same country in a different location. Once you have one of these people in your business, whether this is in sales, administrative, technical, you'll find that you are able to delegate a massive portion of the tasks that you were not able to find someone to do previously. So if this is something that interests you, please let us know and pop over to the Contact Us form, and we'll help you get started today. Thank you and good luck.